Hello everybody, this is Squidisnaz, and today I thought we'd be doing like a topic video because topic videos are my favorite thing to watch with other artists. But because I'm a pretty young artist and I'm kind of inexperienced, I feel kind of inadequate giving other people advice, I guess. So basically, I wanted to talk about my experience as a young artist because that's something which I can actually kind of talk about. So it was only when I was writing up the dot points for what I was going to say, because I'm really camera shy and I'll totally get lost if I don't have dot points, that I realized how much I've actually got to stay on the topic. So I think I might turn this into kind of like a 3-part series. So today's video I'm going to talk about my story of like my art journey so far, which kind of evolved into my life story. Yeah, don't ask. And then I might do another one which has like how being a young artist might be different from being an artist as an adult, and maybe even some like pet peeves about that. And the third video is going to be some quote-unquote advice that I can give other young artists who want to kind of start their career, I guess. So for me, just before I get into the topic, this artwork's a drawing of, well, I call it a robotic cello, but it's like a cello that plays itself. And I'm thinking of donating it to some school music fundraising event. Basically, they normally get this printmaker who used to go to the school to donate an artwork, which they do a silent auction for to get fundraising for the music program. And I figured maybe I can donate something because it's a win-win situation. It means I get more publicity and the school also gets more fundraising, and yeah, it's all good. Yeah. So on to the actual topic. I guess where it all started when I don't remember what age I actually was. I was really young though, like 1 or 2. It was the first time I figured out how to hold a pencil, and apparently, according to my mum, I drew like for an entire day. So I'd go through one piece of paper, I'd draw on it, and then I'd chuck it to the side and do a new one. And apparently I went from drawing like smiley faces at the start of the day to kind of these weird spidery things. I actually haven't seen any of the drawings I did on that day for a long time. I think my parents are storing them somewhere to embarrass me with when I'm like older or something. From there, I started primary school, and I mean, I kind of messed around with art, but I wasn't very diligent about it. But like every now and then, whenever we had free time, I'd just be like drawing. And I quickly gained a reputation as being like the class artist. Except there was this other girl who went to art classes, and she actually practiced art like diligently, and she was really good, and I was really jealous of her. And that was about when I discovered pencil drawing off this tutorial website called DeviantArt. And I like did all of the tutorials on there, and yeah, so that was pretty fun. And eventually I started doing my own drawings without copying other artists' work. Yeah. Looking back, like, that site's a bit dodgy, but you know. So when I was little, like, I kind of noticed that like when people are younger, their ambitions are really varied. So I wanted to be a part-time chef, a part-time ballet dancer, a teacher, and I wanted to do something creative. But I knew I didn't want to do like just drawing. Well, I thought I didn't want to just draw and sell my stuff because I had the perception that artists who did that were poor. But I wanted to do something creative for sure. So by that time, my parents enrolled me into this art school called Clarence Art in my local area, and it was okay, but like the style was very different to what I was used to, because it was all like, I mean, it was obviously designed for kids, and what they did was they just gave us a picture every lesson for us to copy, and I actually went to that art school for several years until I just stopped because it wasn't really doing much for me anymore. But I learned a lot of technical stuff from there, like things like perspective and anatomy. Well, actually, I'm still pretty bad at anatomy to this day, but like if I paid attention more in class, I probably would have been better. But then my parents, my parents were really supportive of my art, so I'm really grateful for that. They enrolled me into my first competition as well, it was just like one of, like, it was a local art competition, and the theme was beginnings. So I did this like drawing in half an hour. It was kind of like this life cycle of this wolf who gets killed and turned into a carpet. So that was kind of strange. And I was like, great, it looks awesome, I'm done. And then my friends were like, no, you gotta put in some more work, some more work than that. And at the time, I remember being really mad. I was like, oh, my parents are undermining my hard work. So, like, I did countless drafts, but I was basically doing the same thing over and over again. And my parents were like, no, you're not getting it. A draft means you like change things, right? And eventually, I came to this other idea, which was this trilobite. And I spent hours working on it, and by that time it was already way past the competition deadline, but I just wanted to finish it anyway for the sake of finishing it, I guess. And I still have the artwork, and like, I mean, for like, I was in 3rd grade, so it was pretty good for like the time. I think it was a major breakthrough in terms of art for me. So then I changed schools, and all of a sudden I was going from being a big fish in a small pond to being a small fish in a big pond, if you say. And I kind of lost things for a while, like I never had to do my homework. And I mean, I stopped drawing for a while. And to top things off, the girl who I was really jealous of in like primary school just happened to be going to my OC class as well. And so like, I mean, only my friends really knew I drew at the time. And I guess I went into what you could call an extended artist block. I mean, I still drew, but nothing really felt the same as it did before. Then I started high school, and I started drawing again. And there was this other girl in my class, so I wasn't going to the same high school as the girl who I was jealous of, but there was another girl in my class who was, God, she was so amazing. Like I said, the other girl, my primary school friend was amazing, but like she was just unreal. I was so mesmerized that someone our age could be doing this sort of stuff, and like we became best friends for a while. But I mean, I had some jealousy problems. I had a pretty big ego at the time, so like we didn't stay friends for long, and we had a pretty big fight. But we're friends again now, so I think I've got my jealousy thing under control. But my dad introduced me to this style called steampunk, which is what I do now. At first I actually wasn't that into it. I was like, yeah, this is kind of a bit too math sciencey for me. But like, I really liked it when I actually started drawing it. And that was about when I realized that I wanted to do art for a living. And it still kind of scares me because I'm not sure. I mean, I know that it can be difficult to make a career in it, but I think I can do it. So that's when I started taking steps to make sure that I would be able to do it. And I had this really amazing art teacher in Year 7. Actually, all the art teachers at my current school are really good. And they really encouraged me to enter more competitions, which I've been entering, like, what, 2 to 4 competitions a year ever since then. That was also around the time when I got my first job. So one of my best friends at the time, he had a sister who also did art, and I was over at his place, and she looked at my sketchbook and she said, "Can you teach me art?" And then her parents were like, "Yeah, come and teach her art." So, I mean, I started going every week, and I got paid for it. So, and I still go there. So, that's really cool, and they're a really nice family as well. So I've had a lot of people helping me along the way. And it was also around the same time that I got my first commission. So it was just a random person on DeviantArt who was like, "Hey, can you draw one of my I think it was an OC. It was like a dinosaur. It was really cute." So I drew it for like $30. And I mean, I haven't had another commission for like people who aren't from my family since then, but it'll happen at some point. Yeah. So anyway, when I was 13, I got my first DeviantArt account because I was a good kid and I didn't want to fake my age. That's basically it. And then a year ago, no, I think it was at the start of this year, I got YouTube, and I've very slowly been growing my following since then. I also briefly experimented with Patreon, but it didn't go down too well, so I think I'm going to reopen my Patreon when I graduate. I've also changed my style in the past year, and well, like, I guess that's also part of being more open-minded, because I felt really locked into pencil drawing, seeing as I had been doing it for like several years, ever since grade 3, but now I'm doing pen drawing. And I was drawing fairies for like a few months, but then I kind of came back to steampunk just because it feels really familiar to me and I really like it. So in the future, I mean, that's about where I am now, and I'm 14. In the future, I mean, I still really want to do art, preferably freelance as well, but I also want to change. I want to make things different with my art, like, as in, I want to help people and make people happy. So that's one of my main goals for the future. So, I mean, it's just because art is such a powerful medium, it can change people's ideas, and to not use it in that way would be kind of a waste. Well, that's about all I have to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have anything else to say on the topic of being a young artist, especially if you're a young artist yourself, I'd really like to hear it. I'm hoping to upload the next 2 videos sometime soonish. I don't know when, I don't have any illustrations done yet, but yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.